Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Tuesday. We are the only show that attacks and dominates on a Tuesday, folks. Tuesdays aren't usually attackable and dominatable, but we're going to do it, Bob. Good morning.
Well, Tuesdays are the best days.
Why are Tuesdays the best
Rosman
days?
hated him. That's why I loved him.
Oh, okay. And people say you're an antagonist.
No, just he called them lazy Tuesdays.
Lazy
I said,
Tuesdays.
I think it's great. You got one day in the bank. After this, you're at Wednesday and you're ready to go. Wednesday, like you're running downhill. Might as well be the weekend.
There we go.
I try to load up my weeks early with a lot of things going on. So by the time I get to like Wednesday night, I'm mostly done with what I've got to do for the week.
That's the kind of attitude we need here, folks. We are Morning Juice. I am Tito. That's Carpenter to my left. Bodie, making sure things run smoothly. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Bodie, can they catch us on Facebook and Twitter Live?
Yes, they can.
Look at that.
Facebook's been rolling, actually, the last handful of days. So.
Way to jinx it.
Look at that. Yeah.
I know, now it's going to crash. Morning Juice. Hey, how's Zeta to Go been working? Pretty well. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. Big show lined up for you today. And Bob, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. We'll talk about that. We'll also hear from Jake Diebler from his show last night. But I know you're super excited, Bob, because you have filled out your Big Ten basketball tournament bracket, and the first 2 games are today. Maryland takes on. I thought you did. I could be wrong on that one, but obviously, probably Scotty Vegas has some kind of contest going on with that one. Maryland plays Oregon at 5:00. Penn State Northwestern at 7:30. Buckeyes with the double bye, so they can wait for a little while before they have to play on Thursday. NBA last night, Cavs beat the 76ers 115 to 101. Is that right? That's the right score?
That is correct, yep. James Harden, 29,000 points in his career now. Ninth player to do so. So good for him.
Cavs legend.
Yes, Cavaliers legend.
The Cavs G League affiliate, Bob, I don't know if you saw this, the Cleveland Charge signed former Buckeye, former Akron St. Mary's player, former first-round pick Malachi Branham to a contract.
Gosh, that's terrible.
That's good news.
It's good news for him, but just the fact that that's where, like, you play here. He was here 1 year,
I think he was here 1 year, yeah.
He was
just one and done. Very good. I remember him, but not as much as I would have thought.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's just, hoops is hard. Guys leave. I mean, it's really difficult to make an impact in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, a first-round pick. Like, first-round pick in the NFL or things like that, it's like there's you're playing right away usually, expected production.
It just depends. But, yes, I mean, there's unless you're a lottery pick, there's no guarantees you even make the team.
Yep. The NHL, CBJ loses.
When did he come out? You said 21?
I didn't announce that, but I'm not sure when he came out. That might have been right.
That I might have been 22.
22 first-round pick.
21 last season, like 21-22 season.
Correct.
22, yeah.
Yeah. I think him and Liddell were on that team that made the tournament, beat Loyola, lost to Nova.
The one we talked about yesterday,
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah, you're right, Bob. If you go through and look.
So he's basically 4 years out now, and this is like you're going back to the
full.
and you're going back to the G League.
And he's been to I think he's been on 4 teams already now.
Yeah.
Because he started off with the Spurs. I think he got traded to the Wizards, then the Hornets.
Okay.
And then the Hornets released him.
He never even played then.
Yeah, never played
a couple of those other teams. Yeah, he was the 20th pick in 2022 to San Antonio.
Okay.
Like you said there. And yeah, he put up some numbers too. I mean, nothing crazy. His first 2 seasons though, 66 and 75 games, 20 minutes a game, 10 and 9 points. Not,
Right, still though.
Nothing to write home about, but and he was only 19 and 20 his first 2 years there.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of just wonder if he's had some injuries maybe or something that.
I don't think it's been that.
No?
I don't remember
It's
hearing
not good.
injuries.
Sorry,
man. Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
The Jackets lost a home matinee in 5-4 in overtime to the Kings. Tough loss there. You gotta rack up 2 points at home, man. You gotta get those 2 points at home. Lose to the Kings like that, not good. But the Jackets are in action tonight at Tampa Bay, so that'll be what? That's a back-to-back games for them. They left us yesterday. I guess yesterday evening they left to head down there to Tampa to get ready to take on the Lightning. Bob, are you ready to make me smarter?
It's the most difficult thing I do every day. But yeah, I think I'm prepared.
I'll take that as a compliment. Here we go.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
General, give me smarts real good.
All right, it is Tuesday, March 10th, the 69th day of the year, 296 days remaining in this 2026. The date, 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo is ratified, ending the Mexican-American War. 1876, the first successful test of the telephone is made by Alexander Graham Bell. Jumping ahead to 1960, the Soviet Union agrees to stop nuclear testing. 1960.
Did they do it or just agree to?
Well, I think that they because they can tell across the world based upon, I don't know, different stuff that happens when those tests go off. And so I think it was probably more broadly testing like out in the open. I don't know. I haven't looked into that. Maybe I should dive in there a little more, Bodie. Get in the wormhole. I was looking up stuff on the history of Carthage yesterday. I don't know why. It was one of the things in here. And just, why not? Figured I'd dive in. They've got the Iliad's coming up, so just maybe learn a little bit more about, the ancient world.
You were doing the history of Carthage, what you were looking up?
Yeah.
I was looking up basketball stats on basketballreference.com.
That sounds great.
Feels like we're both on the same path there, Bob.
Well,
Just trying to get knowledge.
Well, knowledge, I don't know what the history of Carthage would be used for, maybe in Jeopardy at some point in time. Or maybe after we have a post-apocalyptic situation of rebuilding cities.
Would you try out for Jeopardy?
It's tough. I don't know if I'd ever have a shot at it, but I wouldn't be afraid if I got the right categories. I feel like I'd have a shot. I'd probably have to have one sports category in there, but just other ones, some history, some music. There's a handful of ones that I could probably be successful in. Presidents. Get Shark in there. You would be good with that off.
Oh, I'd be great at that one.
1963, the San Francisco Warriors star Wilt Chamberlain scores 70 points. Scored a lot of points.
They did.
Not as many wins, but a lot of points. 1965, 8 Days a Week by the Beatles hits number one.
Love me, hold me, love me. I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week.
8 Days a Week. It's an okay Beatles song. I'd say top 20.
Oh, it's hard to tell that, Bob.
What?
It's hard. There's such a collection. It's hard to tell.
That's what I'm saying. They got a pretty broad catalog. I enjoy 8 Days a Week. I don't love it. I like it. 1972, America's self-titled album is certified gold. I figured this is what you'd pull. This is a good one. Do you find it ironic that they were in the desert and trying to get out of the rain?
I hadn't thought of it, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, that is
some ironies there.
Pretty good observation, yeah.
Rain, name, all of it rhymes.
That's the thing, yeah.
So you get to that desert on the horse with no name. Feels good to get out of the rain, but I guess so. You're in the desert, so.
So you went from the rain to the desert, you think? Is that what it was? I got out of the rain and went to the desert?
Maybe it was raining in the desert. I'm not sure. Doesn't rain there very often.
That's show prep there. I should have done.
1973, The Dark Side of the Moon is released by Pink Floyd.
Oh.
In 1979, sometimes you just got to pump to the beat of Staying Alive. Sometimes it's I Will Survive, which hits number one by Gloria Gaynor.
I will survive. Hey.
Gosh, that sounds so terrible.
She's good, Bob.
She's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about her. I was going to say that's kind of insulting.
I like Gloria Gaynor. She's good.
You just don't like the duet with Tito.
I don't know if it's really not the duet. It's your attempt to kind of top it. It's really the issue. 2000, the dot-com bubble peaks with the NASDAQ peaks at over 50 or 5,048. 2003, the Righteous Brothers, AC/DC, and the Police joined the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And in 2020, 23, the FDIC takes over the Silicon Valley Bank after a run on bank deposits due to their liquidity and solvency issues. Now you got some big birthdays today. Turning 86, the commander of the Delta Force, Mr. Chuck Norris.
You're Walker, huh? Good guess.
Oh, Walker,
Tell me
Texas
you're the
Ranger.
best. Oh, yeah? What do you think?
Sounds violent.
Having fun yet?
Yeah. Mess with Chuck.
This is from Mobley.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a Chuck Norris movie.
What?
Yeah. I've seen a lot. I
You
mean,
never
I've
seen Delta Force?
No. I've never seen a Chuck
Come
Norris
on.
movie.
He's in dodgeball.
I didn't see
Or
Dodgeball.
Only Tito.
Of course. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You gave him a layup. A fast break layup.
Have you seen any other Chuck Norris movie other than Dodgeball, Bodie?
I don't think so.
There we go, Bob.
That's what I'm saying, but that's an easy one. Watched a lot of Walker, Texas Ranger, Delta Force. He's in the Expendables, which is great. I love the number one search for him. Is Chuck Norris still alive? Well, he is.
I was when you said yesterday,
He's 86.
I knew he was getting up there.
Have we seen him in public at all in the last couple
He
years?
hasn't been out a ton.
Okay.
I know that I don't think he's doing all that well from what I've been told. I mean, the fact that he's 86. I remember when I saw that he was 80 and people thought, like, how old is Chuck Norris? But, like 65. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, he's 80. And now he's 86, still alive. Just kicking, just getting after it.
Ricky Bobby named his kids after him.
Walker and TR. Delta Force was the best. And then he was in the Expendables too. That was his last major film release was 2012.
And
So-
Expendables, that's the one with like Stallone and everybody, all the
Yeah.
action, all the big
They
strong
made a
action guys, whatever.
They make a fourth one, or are they making a fourth one? One of the two.
I don't know. Yeah, not sure.
Either
on
they
that.
made a fourth or they're making a fourth. I saw the first two. I need to go watch the last ones. Born on this day, 1946. He passed away a couple years back. Hall of Famer for the Chiefs and Oilers. 5-time All-Pro. Their defensive tackle, Mr. Curly Culp. Born on this date, 1946. The same as Mr. Curly Culp. The 1983 Men's College Basketball Championship. Coach of the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Laugh, cry. What's the third?
What is it?
Think.
Think,
Think.
yeah.
Experience
That's a hell
it
of
all.
a day. It's a heck
I'm
of
gonna
a
do it.
Yeah.
Jim Valvano.
And when people say to me, how do you get through life or each day, it's the same thing. To me, there are three things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special.
There you go.
Jimmy V. It's the best 30 for 30 is that one on them with Survive in Advance. That's one of the best ones. I didn't see him Valvano that way and following that program. Yeah, he was something else.
Think, Tito.
Think.
That's the hidden one. It's the one everybody forgets about.
Did your dad play with Curly Culp?
Yeah,
I thought he did.
he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
My dad goes, the longest conversation I ever had with him was when he went back to Houston, or went back to Tennessee for one of the Oiler reunions. And he goes, Curly Culp never really said anything. He goes, that, and then the day I got traded, when he was to get traded from the Oilers to the Giants. He was sitting out there with Pastorini, Curly Culp, and I forget someone else. And the GM started walking out on the field. He's like, well, someone's getting traded. And Dan's like, I'm too old. And Curly goes, I'm too old too. He goes, Carp, must be you. And they were both right.
Lo and behold.
They were correct. And then he talked to him at the Oiler reunion. He was not in good shape. And my dad goes, I had to get the wheelchair. They didn't have a wheelchair for him to get down on the field. He couldn't really walk all that well. And that was 2019 maybe. So that was probably a year or two before he passed away, a year and a half.
Pastorini got traded after that anyway.
It wasn't Pastorini.
Oh.
It was not Pastorini. It was
Was it Stabler then?
Stabler.
Stabler was
Pastorini had already been traded. It was 81.
Or Stabler, yeah.
Mr. Cav, Mr. Austin Carr turning 78 today.
Domer.
Oh, you didn't get anything from him?
You
Oh, I didn't tell you? Oh, my
Uh-uh.
gosh. There was so much stuff going on. I was thinking so much how Shark would love that. Oh, that's my bad. I should have. Well, I got
Next year, Bob.
overly excited because he shares a birthday
with another
legend.
legend.
USA legend. Born on in this date, 1957. Thitoff's favorite, Osama bin Laden.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to have more. I thought you maybe have some of his videos, little homemade
We can
ones.
play those or not.
I don't know if we would have been able to understand those.
That's all right.
That's all right. You could have translated for us, Bodie.
Turning 68 today, starlet Sharon Stone.
I've always had a fondness for white silk scarves. They're good for all occasions.
But you said you liked men to use their hands, didn't you?
No, I said I
Michael
like
Douglas.
Johnny to use his
Well, maybe
hands.
that's that one.
I don't make any rules, Nick.
I haven't
I
seen
go
this
with
one
the
either.
flow.
Did you kill Mr. Boz, Mr. Ramel?
I'd have to be pretty stupid to write a book about killing and then kill somebody the way I described it in my book. I'd be announcing myself as the killer. I'm not stupid.
We know you're not stupid, Mr. Mel.
Maybe that's what you're counting on to get you off the hook.
Writing the book gives you an alibi.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? But the answer's no. I didn't kill him.
Did she end up killing him?
Spoiler alert. I have no idea. I've never seen
I've
the
never
movie.
seen the movie.
Basic Instinct.
I know Basic Instinct.
Yeah. It was a heck of a scene. I
we say-
couldn't really play most of the first half.
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
Can we say if she killed him or not?
Are you
is that gonna
talking
be
about
spoiled?
me? Are you?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. Did she actually kill him?
I haven't seen the whole thing.
Okay. You just had the one part.
DVD.
Yeah, you just.
I did enjoy the. I couldn't help but think of the Juice himself talking about.
Oh yeah,
writing
if I
a
did
book.
it. Yeah, writing the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you the alibi. Well, he wrote it after. She wrote hers
If I
before.
did it.
He acted it out, then wrote it out. Yeah.
Rod Woodson, star of the Steelers and Ravens, Super Bowl winner with the Ravens, turning 61 today. And John Hamm, Madman, Landman, Maverick, turning 55.
Your reputation precedes you.
Thank you, sir.
Wasn't a compliment. I'm Admiral Bo Simpson. I'm the air boss. Believe me, no Admiral Bates.
Well, sir, must admit I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick. What's your read, Captain?
No, someone's not coming back from this.
Can it be done or not?
How soon before the plant becomes operational?
3 weeks, maybe less.
Well, it's been a while since I've flown an F-18, and I'm not sure who I trust to fly the other 3, but I'll find a way to make it work.
I think you misunderstand, Captain.
Sir?
We don't want you to fly it. We want you to teach it.
There you
Not
go.
a teacher, Ice. Fighter pilot.
He's the air boss. Oh, goodness. One of the best. I've really enjoyed him in Landman. I was going to watch one last night, got a little late, and need to get to bed. I was watching some USA-Mexico baseball.
Nice. There you
Baseball,
go.
Bob.
Yeah, who do you
Baseball.
play for?
Bob, look at you, man.
It was good. Listen, I watch, unlike you, I support all of our athletes
not
supporting their country. When they're sitting there giving the USA, Aaron Judge is smacking dongs in the third. I mean, they beat him
Okay,
up.
then why is Shohei Ohtani not pitching for Japan?
That's between him and the Japanese.
And the Dodgers, who are worried about him getting hurt.
Listen, if he wanted to pitch,
Yeah.
he'd pitch.
He's easing into the season because
That's
he doesn't want to
fine.
get hurt.
I'm not saying that's his choice. But the Dodgers, if he told them he wanted to pitch,
Yeah.
he went to you do realize he went to the Dodgers because they were going to allow him to pitch.
Pitch for the Dodgers, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but in the spring training, though,
I get it.
I-
I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
But if he wanted to pitch, he would pitch.
I wonder if something in his contract about that or not. About playing international events.
I'm telling you, if he
There's
wanted to
nothing-
pitch, he would pitch. You think they're going to void his contract?
Tariq Skubal for the
You think they're
Tigers.
going to void his
No,
contract?
I don't think avoid his contract. I'm saying Skubal,
Okay,
though,
so
for
then
the
what does it
Tigers.
matter? So here's the thing.
Yeah,
He said, I wonder if there's something in his contract.
right.
If there's something in his contract that prohibits him and he does it and gets hurt,
Right.
that would void his contract. But they would have to take those steps. So my question to you is, Do you think they would void his contract if he got hurt?
I don't think they would void his
Then
contract.
it doesn't matter.
But I do believe they don't want him pitching.
That doesn't matter at
And
all.
Scooball for the Tigers went out there, and the Tigers told him you can go pitch one game. Pitch in one game is all you can pitch in. And he went out there and pitched a great game.
Detroit's anti-American.
Pitched a great 3 innings.
Oh.
And then he came out and said, you know what, I think I might want to pitch again.
Yeah.
And the Tigers said, that whatever reason, he's not doing it now.
Like I said,
They
it's
won't
between-
even give him a contract extension. I tell
know,
Detroit
but-
to go to hell. I'll see you guys
32
later.
mil this year, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's between that. It's between him and the organization. If Shohei Ohtani wants to pitch for Japan,
Right.
he pitch for Japan.
Okay.
He might not feel confident in it because
Right.
maybe he hasn't had enough time. But if he wanted to go out there and pitch, he would pitch. And I guarantee you they would not void his deal if he got hurt.
Oh, I know they wouldn't void his deal.
So then what does it matter?
I-
Even if it's written in there. If you're not going to take action on it, it doesn't matter.
My only point.
Your only point is they're the team that pays them. I get it.
Yeah. And
It's international competition supporting your country. Some people think that that's an honorable thing to do. Others think, well,
Honor, code,
I didn't say it
loyalty.
was an honorable.
you said you're more worried about the money.
I said, yes, I am more worried about the impact on the team when they're paying him $700 million.
Listen,
They've already got two World Series in the bank.
and they've already
They'll be
got
fine.
they already got all the money back and the World Series. So what are they? I mean, at that point, I'd say, listen, I'd suggest you pick up a rifle and stay in the post.
Also, John Hamm, great in the town.
Oh gosh, I forgot
Was
that
the
he's
FBI
in.
agent.
I
Yeah.
forgot that he's
Is
in
that a
that.
movie or a series?
That was a movie.
That's terrible. I can't.
It's a good one.
The town
It's-
is a great.
I'd move it pretty high on the list.
A lot of people have the town like top 5.
I can't tell you where we're going. I can't tell you what we're doing. We're gonna hurt some people. Who's God we gonna take?
It's so Cole. That's in his. Cole hasn't seen a lot of movies. Probably not as many as he's seen more than him.
Okay.
Oh.
But they have a list of like the top 5. He's like working through it, and they keep adding things to the list. And he didn't have the town was one of them. And I told Cole, I was like, listen, I'm going to co-sign. That is one you need to see in the next like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Watching that for the first time is awesome.
Yeah, that movie's great.
Watching Jeremy Renner grab that drink at the end out of the trash can, have a little swig of something.
Spoiler
You know.
alert. Now I can't watch it.
Oh, really?
I just spoiled the whole thing for you there, Bob. You told me how it ended.
Oh, it's so good. Robin Thicke, boy, turning 49 today. Well, Blurred Lines.
Story of my life.
There you go. Logan Mankins, Pats and Bucks guard, turning 44 today. Carrie Underwood, turning 43. There we go.
Louisville Slugger to both headlights.
Yeah, it's encouraging people to do violent things.
Well,
He
I mean,
cheated on her.
I mean, if the NWA says something or Ice Cube about killing certain people and stuff like that, and that gets all this attention, she just beat up his 4-wheel drive, and I'm just no one bats an eye.
no, I mean the Bats did the job. So I think they were batting an eye. So there we go. Another birthday, Hollywood star Olivia Wilde turning 42.
What's the weather?
Listen, the only reason I'm here is because my boss told me to be. This is not a date. This is not a get to know you. This is just me trying to save my job.
I'm gonna go.
Just sit the fuck back down. I showered, I showed up, I'm starving, and I could use a drink. How long have you known Dave?
My whole life, actually.
And have you ever seen him act like he did yesterday?
Like a super douche. Yeah. I have at times, but I'm really hoping that he didn't say anything to offend you.
He totally did. But I like being offended, just usually after work.
Wow.
Here's a bottle you ordered, sir.
Excellent.
Send that shit back. Bring us 2 Macallan 25s neat.
Right away, ma'am.
Oh, wow. What movie is that from?
The Change Up.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to watch that. That sounds
it's
good.
pretty funny.
I can't believe I've seen the change-up, Bob.
Oh, really?
There's not a chance you've seen that.
I haven't
movie,
seen it either.
Thitoff.
I can't believe you haven't seen it, Bob. By the way, yesterday, day date, right, with the wife.
Yeah.
And she wasn't feeling well, so we decided to watch a movie on Netflix together. and I looked up the latest releases.
And Artie was sitting there beside us,
naked,
watching Pinocchio.
It was not a rest day yesterday. It wasn't a maintenance day. But anyway, and I look up and I see the Green Knight.
The Green
Knight, and it looks like it talks glowingly about the Green Knight.
Who is the Green Knight?
I don't remember. Listen, it's back in like the King Arthur times and all that, like along those lines.
Well, it's a real knight, then yes.
It's not a real knight though. It's actually a green figure. But anyway, Sir Gawain.
Mix-a-Lot?
Yes, Sir Gawain is what they called him in there. And this was an awful movie.
Why would you watch something that's just recommended on? I don't ever take the Netflix recommendations.
Okay, because it had a bunch of the things like, you know, the Game of Thrones kind of. It had like a feel like it was really well done artistically and all this, and it goes back to that.
That's what you're watching for, the cinematography.
That's what I do, Bob. I don't watch it just for the story.
Yeah, I could have told you that. And then also Justin Herbert turning 28 today. Couldn't believe he was that old. Time's getting away. Hell, Joe Burrow's 29.
Yeah.
And dating Jessica Alba.
Oh, is he? I hadn't seen that, but good for
I think they
him.
made a couple of appearances together, yeah.
I think Justin Herbert's doing pretty well for himself.
Both those guys seem to be living their best lives. Some holidays, observances today. It's International Bagpipe Day, International Day of Awesomeness, Landline Telephone Day, International Wig Day.
Oh.
How about that? You know who Dom Capers is, Bodie?
I know the name, yeah.
He's with Carolina now. He was Green Bay's OC, DC.
Okay,
he worked in New England for a while. Oh, gosh,
Was he head coach of Houston?
Head coach, I believe,
Jacksonville.
Of the Panthers.
I
want to say. And he may have been the head coach. I think he was the head coach at Houston when the expansion. But it was super windy, and they were playing a game, and everyone always said he had a hairpiece. And gosh, I'm trying to think who told me this. And Randy Moss, it was when he was with New England, and it was super windy, and Randy's like, we came out for warm, they go out early to throw and do everything. Randy walked in the locker room, like, I ain't throwing that thing today. He looked at Dom, he patted him on the head, he goes, you better strap that thing down, big boy. And he just walked on by. Like everyone just like looked. I mean, only Randy could sit there, coach. Like it was your DC, like it was no big deal. Better strap that thing down, big boy. So National Wig Day, there you go. It's National Skirt Day, which it's actually warm enough to wear a skirt, so nice deal there. And
Not you though.
Oh, I mean, we're a kilt.
Okay.
U.S. paper, a skirt of sorts.
Day.
You blend those two things together. And U.S. Paper Money Day, and those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Tuesday, March 10th, the 69th day of the year, 296 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done as always, General. Coming up next, a major change at The Ohio State University. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Bob, I don't want to get into the details of why Ted Carter resigned as president of Ohio State. He resigned. He offered his resignation, and it was accepted. If you want to read all the details on why and what all went on and all that, you can find that. But what I wanted to...
There are a ton of details out. It's fairly vague right now.
It is, but I'm saying the whole... That's not what I wanted to focus on here, though. I wanted to ask you, because my knowledge on Ted Carter, really, the first time I saw him was at the press conference in Bjork, where they were talking about making sure, their goal was to keep all 36 varsity sports and that and whatnot. When they did I don't know, I guess it was in him introducing Bjork or Bjork introducing him, whatever it was. Anyway, was that the Ted Carter?
He introduced Ross Bjork.
Okay, that's what it was. But I don't know or don't fully comprehend how big of a role the president of the university, president of the entire university, plays in the world of athletics.
Well, they have to sign off on every major decision. They're in charge. So as much as you like to think it's, Ryan Day and Ross Bjork and everything, it's ultimately comes to the president's desk. And so Ross was hired by Ted, and Ted, I think, was a very pro-sports president, probably the strongest athletics president we have had, at least in my 25 years of being around the university. And he was a proponent of the Olympic sports, but also understanding that football needed to be the apex of that because they were the ones that funded all the bills. And if they weren't good, then everything else was going to struggle. So he signed off on a lot of things and figured out ways to make things maybe work, whereas there would have been other presidents that may have been more hesitant to do so and may have taken more time. He was less concerned about trying to, read the room and figure out what other people thought than saying, hey, is this what we need to do? Is this what's best for the university? Okay, well, then let's do it.
The automatic knee-jerk reaction, I think, for most of Buckeye Nation was, let's get Tressel in there. Is that realistic?
A bunch of people. I don't think so.
No.
I mean, you say no. I've watched a bunch of people put that stuff out. Number one, he has, and they could have an interim president for a while, but he chose not to run for governor. Not that, because I think he didn't want to necessarily campaign and do all of that. The other thing is I think he wanted to retire. Now, I don't know if this is something that would be, he would think in higher regard than the governorship of the state of Ohio, or if it's something that would interest him. But I mean, I was under the impression that a large portion of the reason he did not run for governor is because he simply wanted to retire.
Right.
As opposed to taking on another job that is, it's not just a 40-hour-a-week job. Jobs like that, those things, they're every day, all day. You have problems that come up in the middle of the night on a Saturday night. You got to solve those. You got to get up and take care of it. So I don't know that he necessarily wants that. I don't know that his wife wants that. I'm not trying to speak for him in this situation, just knowing what I've seen out of him and what he's been a part of. I think that this would be intriguing to him, and I'm not completely ruling it out, but I don't believe that this would be the path that he would want. Now, I might be completely wrong in saying that, but anytime I've talked to him, he's talked about his desire to retire and relax a little bit, and he's going to be 73, 74. And at some point, work till you die. Like, no matter what job you have you're doing, you're still working at a high level. And I know he wants to be able to see some of his former coaches and some of his guys he's worked with in the past, spend some time with them, play some bad golf. His wife, Ellen, loves the golf. They like spending, he lives up in Akron right now. It's not like he lives here. So he travels back and forth and does stay down here a handful of nights, goes down to their place on the west side of Florida and hangs out with some of his coaching buddies there. Like, that's I think what he wants to do more of, because he's worked his entire life at jobs that are high demand, high performing jobs.
Most of the time when you talk about jobs that are open, like high level jobs at Ohio State that are open, I think they're very desirable. Is the president of Ohio State going to be something where you're going to have people just lined up wanting to?
I think a lot of people want it, but it's under what terms you're going to take it. When Ted Carter took the job, I think that there were some things he wanted changed with the operations of who was going to be in charge and how that was going to operate. And he was able to get those things done. And he did personal stuff aside, he did a very good job governing the university to getting it back on track with its main mission. And then ultimately he was really good for athletics as well. He was 2 years into an 8-year deal. I was thinking he would be here for at least another 4 or 5 years. And I was very excited about that because I liked a lot of the changes and the things that he had done. I thought it was very productive and good for the university, not just for athletics, but across academics as well. And talking with him, and people on both sides, I thought he was very effective in what he was able to do. So him being gone is going to leave a void. He hired Ross Bjork. So there was a great relationship there between those two men. Now, who they bring in next, I'm not saying that it won't be good, but it's never going to be quite the same as the person that hired you for a job that was the biggest AD job in the country coming open that hadn't been open in 2 decades.
When other sports, I'll just use this example, general managers, a new general manager comes into a sport, and you'll hear oftentimes he does have his guy, that he wants to get his guy to be the coach or whatever. Is that, do you think that's something that Ross Bjork should be concerned with?
What do you mean concerned?
Another person, the guy who hired him is now gone.
That's what I just said.
I know. I'm saying if a new guy comes in, though,
it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Depends on, and this is what I'm saying. Ted Carter understood how important athletics was to the Ohio State University and how it was the main marketing arm of the university. It was the front porch. While it wasn't the mission of the university, that's the thing that is the most visible.
Right.
And so he wanted to make sure that that was handled correctly on the football side and on the Olympic sports side. I don't know if the next president coming in is going to care that much. And so Ross and him, and plus Ted Carter also, I think, wanted Ohio State to take a preeminent role in the shaping of college athletics, and he was at the forefront of that. I don't know that the next president will be that aggressive with this. And so we could go back to the era that we were in 2018, 2019, 2020, where stuff is happening, and instead of Ohio State being a leader and forcing action, they just sat on their hands.
Right.
And that's not a good thing. And that didn't necessarily have as much to do with the athletic department as much as it did have to do with the president's office.
All right, coming up next, Bodie's going to lead us with some quick hitters. We'll do that. Morning Juice.
Hey, friends, Beamer here, and I just want to let you know our son's about to turn 3 here this week. Baby boy number 2, he could show up any day now. And as you know, I got started on Awaken 180 because I wanted to keep up with the boys, with the babies. Well, it turns out that baby isn't a baby any longer. He has legs and he runs everywhere. Every parent knows this. Kids run their own schedule, so life in our house has gone from busy to really busy, and that's exactly why I'm grateful I started Awaken 180. Chasing a toddler is already a workout. Soon it's going to be 2 little guys who don't slow down. Since losing the weight, I've got more energy. I'm sleeping better. I'm not dragging through the day. I'm more present. And more importantly, I'm more patient. And that matters because this is not about looking different. It's about being active with my boys now and being there for them years from now. Awaken 180 gave me a clear plan, real coaching, and results that last. If you've got a busy season coming up or you're already in one, now's the time to do so. Awaken180weightloss.com. Get started today.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook: read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned, so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Bobby Carpenter, husband, father, Buckeye. Jeff Thitoff, husband, father, idiot. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. It's your turn, Bodie. Lead us to the light.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Tuesday. We'll start with some college football here. We know that the Ohio State Buckeyes schedule this coming fall is one of, if not the toughest in the country this season, as they'll have some road trips to Austin, LA, and Bloomington on the slate, plus home contests against Illinois, Oregon, and Michigan. So if you had to pick a trap game on the 12-game slate, which one would it be? Well, CBS Sports, they highlighted 8 potential sneaky games for several different college football playoff opponents, college football playoff contenders, I should say, and their opponents. And for Ohio State, they went with the November 21st matchup against Nebraska and Lincoln. Brad Crawford of CBS Sports wrote, "The Buckeyes have not lost the game just ahead of Michigan under Ryan Day. There was only really one close call as they kind of narrowly," he said, although they won by 13, on the road against Maryland in 2022 when Ohio State was ranked number 2 and unbeaten. Day has been nearly untouchable against non-elite opponents during his tenure, so this one drips with nobody will see it coming measures. The toughest assignment for the Buckeyes is keeping their eyes on the Huskers, with Michigan looming at Ohio Stadium. He also mentioned Matt Rule has not beat a ranked opponent in his entire time at Nebraska, but could get some opportunities to do so this fall. Not only has Matt Rule not beat a ranked opponent, Bobby, the Cornhuskers, they've only beaten Ohio State just once in 11 tries since they joined the Big Ten, about a dozen or so years ago. Does this game scare you much? Would you go in with another one, or is it really just kind of focusing on the ranked opponents?
I believe they beat them in 2011, so was that 15 years ago
correct,
now?
Yeah, when Braxton got hurt up there in Lincoln.
Yeah, they had a big lead in the first half and then gave it away. I couldn't believe that they lost it. I couldn't believe they were up and then gave it away. I believe the last time they lost that final game was 2015 to Michigan State, the week before
right.
Michigan. So it's been 10 years. I don't know if Nebraska's going in that 2015 Michigan State bucket. It's in Lincoln. It's loud. It'll be full. I don't know that that'll be the biggest trap game you're going to find. I just don't know that Nebraska's good enough to pull it out. Like, that's the thing, the way Ohio State plays and how physical they are and their ability to run the football, like, unless their defense isn't very good this year, that's when you get caught in trap games when you can't stop people. And I think they'll be good enough on the defensive side that shouldn't be an issue.
It's Bobby's happiest time of the year. We get to spend the next 5.5 months previewing college football and talking about trap games and whatnot, Bob. And I wanted to know when you played and the week before Michigan, is it a challenge to stay focused on that opponent before Michigan? And is that a challenge for the Ohio State coaching staff, or is that something that's just that the players probably have no problem doing?
I never had an issue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a game in front of you, and that's the team you're focusing on that week. Yeah, Michigan's coming up, and that was always a part of it. But depending on how big that game was, when we played Purdue my sophomore year, I forget who we played my junior year. Maybe that was Purdue again. My senior year, we played Northwestern, who wasn't any good at all. So it depends on who you have. And it's always like, okay, we'll turn the page after that. But during the season, you get caught up in your routine, your schedule. At least I always did, where you look at the schedule and you knew who was coming up and you'd plan for things. But it was always what is right in front of you at that point.
So 2003, you guys beat Purdue in overtime.
Yeah, that was a close one. They were good, though.
Yeah, they were. I just clicked away from it. They were ranked 11th at the time, and obviously second to last game, so it was deep into the season. You guys lost to Purdue in 2004, 24-17 in West Lafayette, and then in 2005, you guys whipped Northwestern. I was going to say Nebraska, but they were not in the conference yet.
Same thing.
48-7 there against the Wildcats in your senior year, Carp.
I think we played Illinois in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
that was an overtime. That was an overtime game.
Yeah,
every game was overtime game in 2002, Bob. You guys seem like every week.
We only had a couple overtime games.
Was Cincinnati overtime?
No.
What was that? What was the other overtime game?
I don't believe so.
Cincinnati won at the end, is what it was.
Cincinnati, we won at the end. Illinois, I think, was the only overtime game.
Oh, was it?
Actual overtime.
It says 23-16. Sports Reference doesn't show overtime or not, though. See if Wikipedia does. Yeah, you're right. Overtime. 23-16 against Illinois, and then beat Michigan 14-9. That was the only overtime game of that season before Miami.
Like I just referenced to Thitoff. He said every game was overtime.
Well, class. Do you think the game before Michigan matters as much anymore, though, given that even the Michigan game,
right?
Like, this
as
really
far as,
pisses people off to say it, but like it just doesn't mean as much anymore in this 12-team era. Not that it doesn't mean a lot, but obviously we've seen you can lose that game and still win the national championship. So I'm not sure if it's like it was just like so many times that game was like the season.
Right.
Just because it was like, especially in recent years, I mean, the winner a lot of times like went to the 14 playoff and the loser got bounced.
Well, yeah.
Whereas now it just, the importance isn't on it. So I'm just not sure that Nebraska game like is going to trip you up the way it maybe used to be, because there isn't like so much focus on the Michigan game maybe the way there would have been before.
I would have been concerned if it was an all season long building, like Michigan and Ohio State both undefeated going into that game for the game before their game.
Yeah.
Then I think it's possible that the team maybe
Yeah.
But like if Michigan's what they are, I think they're going to be where their schedule, they're going to lose a few games.
Yeah.
Then it's not nearly as important.
And even now it's like if they were both 11-0 or we'll say 10-0 heading into the second to last week before the game, it could just be like, well, they might play each other twice.
Yeah, right.
You could play each other
2
weeks in a row in the final game and then in the Big Ten championship game. We'll stay with college football here, guys. The Big 12 is going international. This fall will be the first of 3 straight years in which a college football game will be played at Wembley in the UK, starting this year with Arizona State facing Kansas across the pond. On September 19th, it'll be the first college football game in England since 1988. The future opponents of the series will be announced at a later date. The Athletic has reported it could involve other conferences too, but nevertheless, Tito, starting with the Big 12 here, I think it makes a ton of sense, and I understand why the NFL is trying to push their boundaries to become more national or international. College football, though, I just don't know. Like, do people in the UK really be like, okay, rock chalk against the Sun Devils, let's go, baby? I don't know.
This is so dumb. I don't see, go play your spring game over there. How about that? Do that. Go play your spring game over there, Bob. You don't need to put a regular season college football game in Wembley Stadium.
Why is that?
Why don't you need to?
Yeah.
Because I think that college football should be played on campus or at the home stadium so the fans can enjoy it that way.
What if you don't have any fans to go to your games?
You think you have more overseas?
I'm not saying you would, but what's the point of playing in front of a stadium that's less than half full?
Well, if your stadium's less than half full, then there's a bigger issue there. And going over to play in London's not going to solve any issues.
No, Broaden, I mean, it's we're talking about it.
Well, yeah, we're talking about it.
How often else do you talk about Kansas Jayhawk football or Arizona State football?
Arizona State, when Herm was there, I would talk about it.
They were in the playoff a couple years ago.
Yeah, they were in there.
Now, Kansas, they were in the Orange Bowl that one time.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was 14 years ago.
I think it was 20 at this point.
That's my point. No one how many people go to Kansas football games? Not many.
I don't know. I know they had a spike.
How many people go to Arizona State football games?
Not sure
Not many.
Well,
they just took out bleachers. So why do this?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about it.
Okay.
You do understand that, correct?
I know we're talking about, Bob. Just going to talk about it doesn't mean it's a good idea, though.
Well, what are they trying to do?
Honestly, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to talk about it? Okay.
To publicize their product.
I got
That is their goal. Because nobody else is talking about Arizona State, Kansas, or really Big 12 football at large. I think Brett Yormark has done a great job of trying to find ways to engage people and engage the national perception with his conference. That's why they have to do these things. Does Ohio State need to do it? No.
And Michigan was going to do it with Western Michigan, and they ended up bailing on it, but they were going to play in Germany.
Yeah, because you're playing an in-state team in Germany. That's ridiculous. Go play a decent game over there.
All right, next up here, guys, heading to the NFL. We saw a bit of movement in the quarterback market yesterday as free agency got underway. Malik Willis going to the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa heading to the Falcons. As a fellow left-hander, I do love Atlanta just loading up on any left-handed quarterback they can grab. But one guy that has yet to find his next landing spot would be Joe Flacco. The veteran signal caller is looking for an opportunity to be able to compete for a starting job somewhere, but Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network has reported that if that opportunity doesn't come to fruition, then Flacco would be very open to coming back to Cincinnati and backing up Joe Burrow. After he was traded there from the Brownies in the interdivision trade there, Flacco threw for just over 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, too, in 6 starts as he filled in for the injured Joe Burrow. And although the team went just 1-5 in those 6 games, Carp, I think this would be a really, really good move. Hopefully you don't have to use him as much next year, but if he needed to play 2 or 3 games, that would be a pretty strong backup to have for Joe.
Absolutely, it'd be great. He did a great job last year. Yeah. In the midseason trade, down at the 71 swap, Burrow with him leaving the Browns and going to back up Joe, and went in there and played pretty well. I mean, it was all as you could have hoped with what he was given, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah, and Bob, I don't think you take bets on this. I wish you could. But what are the odds that Joe Burrow does not complete all 6 games against his AFC North opponents when you've got Crosby and you've got Garrett and you got the Steelers defense with Watt? I wonder if there's odds on that he won't take every offensive snap in each of those 3 games, each of those 6 games.
Maybe he'll be winning by so much they'll put somebody else.
Could be that also. That's fair too. He mentioned Tua going to Atlanta, and I don't know if you saw this or not, Bob, but the NBA the Atlanta Hawks have nixed Magic City night now.
I saw that, and it's interesting that's the perception they're finally they're worried about. All the other nonsense and trash that they put out there, that they decided to put together Magic City night for the lemon pepper wings and talk about this and have everything going on, and then they cancel it.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Did they ever say why they canceled it? Because I never saw any of that reasoning.
Here's my conspiracy theory. So Jamie Gertz, one of the owners of or co-owner of the Atlanta Hawks, whatever. She had that documentary that Peace Out she produced on Magic City. Is that on Netflix? Is that what it is? Do you know what that is? There's
I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest with you.
Oh, she did. Yeah, so she, the former actress, and she was one of the producers, I believe, on the Magic City, whatever it's called, the Magic City show they were doing. Got to be careful on that one. Anyway, here's my conspiracy theory, Bob.
She in it?
I don't think she's in it, and I don't know if you.
She's one of the stars.
I don't believe she is. But I believe that they never intended to do this.
Maybe they're just trying to bring publication to it?
Yes, they were trying to publicity to it. Yeah,
publicity.
Yeah, I think my conspiracy theory is that she decided, hey, we're going to announce this and give it enough time in it where it's a month out or whatever, to where people will talk about it a lot, like I guess Kansas State or Kansas and Arizona State football, and then we know in the end, though, we are not going to have a Magic City night in Atlanta. Is that a far-fetched conspiracy, you think, or is that possible?
I don't think that's crazy that someone would sign up for something knowing that it wasn't going to come to fruition simply to to bring publicity to it, and to bring a conversation around it. I mean, more people know about the Magic City lemon pepper wings now than ever before.
I can't remember.
It was talked about.
Have you ever had their Magic? Like
I've
their
never
wings?
been to Magic
I didn't
City.
say been there. I didn't know if you had the wings.
I don't know. I don't have DoorDash.
Okay, I just didn't know if they were that. I don't think I'm a lemon pepper. I don't think I'd like lemon pepper wings. I don't know if I've had.
You've never tried lemon pepper seasoning?
I don't think I have. What would I have tried it on?
Probably just a grilled chicken breast.
That all is just chicken. That all it's good
anything.
for.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever had lemon pepper.
You I've had
Put it on anything. Put it on oatmeal.
I don't think I'm trying to think about that. I don't think I've ever had lemon
You've
pepper.
never had lemon pepper seasoning?
No, I don't believe I have, Bob. I'll ask my wife.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
she made something.
I'll ask my wife.
Maybe I did.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry for that?
I'm just sorry.
When I eat wings,
Sorry for a lot of things for you, Thitoff.
when I eat wings, I go either like a honey barbecue, or I go a spicy barbecue. I don't really like hot wings, like the medium or hot wings somewhere like by
Okay,
themselves.
if you tell medium is not hot, even hot is not hot, and I'm not a guy that likes spicy stuff. In general, the Rooster's hot sauce is just the medium with a little bit of spice to it. Like it's nothing. I mean, they've got super hot things. Like I'm not into that.
Right.
But I love that you get out of the box with spicy barbecue and then honey barbecue.
The both, Bob. That's what wings are for. They're for barbecue. They're
put
not
a-
for lemon pepper. They're not for.
Put a lot of things on them.
By the way, I apologize.
Thai chili sauce. You got all Korean barbecue. You got all kinds of things on there.
Korean barbecue's good. I
Teriyaki.
like that.
I mean,
Teriyaki's decent. Teriyaki's decent. I do that.
Then why?
all the time.
Listen, where are we at? You got to mention all the stuff, your catalog.
Bob, trust me. My wife hates that I have no palate and I don't like eating different things. I'm a very plain guy, Bob. That may shock you. And I do want to apologize to the listeners because I know we aren't typically the food show here, but we will get back on track. Next, we will hear from Jake Diebler.
Thought we were going to have you eat that McDonald's Arches burger.
You know, do a video
What
on
about
that,
if
Bob?
we could do a bracket of wings.
See, now my bracket
flavors or sauces.
Mine would be a 14 bracket, though. It'd be like that's all it'd be. It'd be a very quick thing.
Final four. Everybody's already in the
Final four. Everyone's already in
semifinal.
there. Yeah, we would. It's like the Mac of wings. We would not get get much play out of that.
I like it.
All right, I'm not going to try all the wings either. Coming up next, we will hear from Jake Diebler. Morning Juice.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In sports, winning isn't just about points on the board, it's about dollars off of it. From billion-dollar TV deals to player contracts worth more than entire franchises once were, today's games are run on smart financial strategy. And just like a championship team, success comes from planning, discipline, and long-term vision. That's the same approach your money deserves. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Thanks, Bobby. Those core values are the foundation for any successful business. Because whether it's building a roster or building your future, strong fundamentals matter. At Riverside Bank of Dublin, we look at every deal and every opportunity with our core values in mind.
That's right, Chuck. It can take 2 years like it did in Bloomington, or 10, but sustainable success comes from fundamentals done right. Riverside Bank of Dublin, rooted in the community, focused on relationships, and committed to helping our clients win financially. Look for our new branch location in Bridge Park in Dublin.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. No takers? Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Columbus, they're getting relief right now, feeling younger and jumping back into life full speed ahead, and that didn't happen in an operating room. My friend Dr. Ray Tesner and his team use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need the relief the most. This is how I was treated. I had a knee issue. I went in there. We had a consultation. I went through a series of treatments. And you know what? After a handful of months, my knee started feeling better and better until I was able to get out there and do the things I loved again. It's all true. It's all real. The sooner you get started, the sooner your inflammation eases and the sooner you'll start feeling better again. So find out if you're a candidate at your free consultation at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Bob, I've got some breaking news. The text went out to my wife. Have I ever had lemon pepper seasoning? She responded, yes, but probably didn't know it. I've cooked with it.
Yeah, that's
So apparently
it's a
I've had
very
lemon
common
pepper.
seasoning. That's why I
would never seek it out, though. I'd never say, honey, how about some LP on that thing over there? I would never do that.
It's because no one calls it that.
Well, maybe it's going to catch on, Bob. Jake Diebler's show yesterday. Ohio State, we know, is going to play on Thursday. And as they get the double bye, if they win that one, they will play against Michigan on Friday. And here is Jake Diebler on how much he enjoys the conference tournament.
I love this time of year. This is the best time of year for a college basketball fan, college basketball player, certainly college basketball coach. Conference tournaments are great. You know, I came up, got my start in coaching when conference tournaments were, you know, that's what decided if you went to the NCAA tournament or not. Now, right, it's different at the high major level, but the Big Ten, I've been going to the Big Ten tournament, you know, especially when my brother was playing, right, for a long time, and I was there when Evan Turner hit that shot.
Gets
in
the school
Indy,
up north.
And so it's like, it's special. It's special. We're excited about the opportunity in front of us. It's like there's a championship to be had, and that's what we're going to compete for.
I remember growing up, and there was never a Big Ten tournament. Other conferences would have postseason tournaments. The Big Ten didn't have one for the longest time. But how much fun that would have been back then. But, you know, I love the Big Ten tournament as long as Ohio State's advancing. Once they stop playing, I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I'm back, you know, in Thad's early years, it felt like they were in the semifinals or finals every year.
Right.
So you'd have something to watch on Saturday or Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. And, like, you knew if you were able to win, you're winning the Big Ten, you had your top three in the regular season, you're probably getting a top 2 or 3 seed line, and that was a big part of it. It was a lot of fun.
Here is Jake Diebler talking about if they've talked about the NCAA tournament among the team.
We haven't. We're going to stay taking it one day at a time. That's what's worked for us in this group, and we're going to keep focused on that. You know, I think our guys are aware, right? You can't not be.
Right.
But we've talked about, you know, I've asked our leadership team, this is about a month ago, like, hey, let me get your feedback on how you think this team would best handle. And they said, let's not talk about it. Let's focus on the task. I said, good. That's how I feel too, and that's what we've done. So we're going to keep doing that.
Bob, I need some advice from you, which is always a dangerous thing to ask on the air
Well,
live.
I'm going to give you the real unfettered truth.
Thank you. And
Should you choose? Here's the question: is when you ask for advice, what do you typically do with that?
I would say sometimes I follow it. Sometimes I tuck it away and then later on look back and say, wow, Bobby was right, or wow,
I wish
Bobby
I would
was
have
wrong.
followed that. The wrongness isn't usually happening.
Well, okay. You think you're 100% on advice?
I didn't say I said isn't usually happening.
Okay, that's fine.
There's certain things that I tell you that this is how it's going to be, and if I speak with conviction on it, it's because I've seen that movie before.
In 1990, when one of my cousins got married, it was in October when the Reds-A's World Series was going on.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had a TV at the reception that they wheeled in back then.
Oh, yeah. It's like the
So
little.
you can watch it.
Yeah, it's like movie day at school.
Right. My mom's celebration of life is on Saturday afternoon. If Ohio State is playing at that point, is it disrespectful to do that, or would I just chalk it up to mom would have wanted me to watch this game?
At a funeral?
No, not a funeral. No, it's not a funeral. Not a funeral. Celebration of life. It's a party-ish, but it's about that.
I think you're an innovator. I think you're an innovator, Chaz.
Okay, there's going to be a memory board.
I just don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of talking. It won't be like some somber thing. But I'm wondering, because actually it's going to be at a place that probably will have TVs anyway. So if
somebody might as well
following the game, instead of as the son of my deceased mother, instead of going around and mingling as much as I should, and telling people how much I appreciate they're here, thank you so much for coming and all kind of stuff, is it wrong if I take a little time out to watch basketball?
Well, what are you're just going to be talking to people?
Probably, yeah. It's not a funeral. It's not a memorial. It's not a memorial service either. It's just it's a bunch of people getting together, celebration of life. If I want to check out,
sounds like a party.
It's kind of a party, yeah, but it is. But it's great.
Does your mom like Ohio State?
I think my mom liked that I liked Ohio State. I don't know if she was a big sports fan.
Yet she spawned you?
Yeah, Bob, I'm telling you, I'm the biggest sports fan in my family. My brother has no interest in sports, really. Very little interest in sports, I should say. Not, he's not searching Basketball Reference last night, I'll tell you that. But
very few are.
Right, exactly. So is that inappropriate for me to spend some time?
Or her and your dad still together when she passed?
No.
Oh.
No.
Is there anybody in her life that you feel like may be closer to her than you?
Closer to her? Yeah, my sister would be, but
I feel like that might be a poll the audience situation.
Maybe I should do
Phone
that.
Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Ask them what they think.
So genuinely, you're not opposed to that thought process, right?
No,
there.
it's a celebration of life.
There we go.
In worst case, that's why I have YouTube TV. I would just put it on my phone and have an one of my earbuds in. And just
see. Now I think that'd be more disrespectful to walk around with an AirPod in.
I just sit in the corner. I talk to the people I need to talk to.
Not if it was your mom. Yeah. You wouldn't sit in the corner.
Listen, if people want to come talk to me, they can come talk to me. It's my mom that died, not yours.
Okay. I would think you'd want to be out there. I don't know.
What's the level of game that, I think that has to be judged too.
I don't know.
The semifinal Big Ten.
If it's
tournament,
Big Ten semifinal, I don't know if that's that time. I think the celebration of life starts at 2 o'clock.
That was
starts at 2? How long do you think it's going to go? An hour? Hour and a half?
No, I think we've got like a 3-hour window there.
3 hours?
Yeah. So people come and go. No one's going to stay there the whole 3 hours.
It's like a viewing.
Us. There's no body.
That's my point, though. But it's 3 hours. It's an open house.
Kind of like that. It's at a bar.
Well, that's my point. If they have TVs anyway, then what does it matter?
I'm just saying, can I walk away and or do I have to
People walk away all the time.
Other people do, not the children of the deceased.
Listen, I'm not here to adjudicate your relationship with your mom.
That's a good thing.
I mean, I know that if semifinals Ohio State basketball, I don't think that that's a wheelable TV situation.
Well, if they're playing in it, that means they beat Michigan.
I thought Michigan was the semifinal.
Michigan's on Friday against Ohio State if they win. So if Ohio State's playing in the semis, that means they beat the number 2 or number 3 team in the country.
Yes, I would say that's a fairly significant deal. I'm not opposed to it. It depends on how your mom felt about it. I know my dad wouldn't care.
Right.
And most of the people there would expect it to probably, if there was a sporting event that was paramount to our family.
Right.
I think that people largely would expect that. My mom, I think people would be fine with that. Now, as long as that wasn't the centerpiece of it. But if it's getting people to stay there a little bit longer and maybe have a little more conversation, then that's fine.
I think something like that, you can always get away with the excuse, my mom would have wanted it this way. Even if it's not true.
You're the one that said you know her better than I do. I've never met your mom. So that's what I'm saying. You have a
tell her hi, though.
Exactly. You have a sister and a brother.
Yeah.
Where are they at on it?
I haven't talked, Bobby, honestly, most important decisions in my life, I come to you first. I haven't talked about this with my wife.
Where do you rank in the hierarchy of children importance?
I would say...
You got to be honest with yourself about this now.
I know. I would think I am 2. I would think Lisa's 1 because she really took care of her the last couple of years,
Oh,
too.
yeah,
And,
she's taking care of her.
Yeah, my sister's been a saint. And my brother hasn't been around much lately. So I would say I was probably 2. Yeah.
Well, then I think your sister's the one that's probably going to get the main vote.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk to her about it. I don't know. I'll just do it. Bob, look, everyone in the chat thinks that I was putting one up on a T for you there. I think that was a legitimate question that you could have gone either way on.
Of saying what you shouldn't. What did you think I would say?
I thought
What
you
are
would,
people thinking I would say? No or yes?
I think people thought you would do no. By what I'm saying here, Tito, don't give this layup to Bobby. It's not going to end well.
No, I don't.
Don't
Listen,
do it, Tito.
This is all a personal thing, a preference thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that. I mean, I'm not vehemently against that stuff, especially at weddings. I mean, if you're arrogant enough to get married on a like Ohio State game day,
yeah, then
that's on you. You brought that on yourself. Now you're choosing to have this on a Saturday, and what are you going to do? Have it next Saturday when the NCAA tournament is going on?
No way on that one. No, you're kidding me. That's not going to happen.
I mean, this seems like you could have maybe done this more as a midweek deal. You know, how old was your mom when she passed?
Come on, Tito.
No, that's okay. This is why he's number 2.
Jake
not
Diebler
number
said
1.
the defense is continuing to get better.
It's been getting better, and I think even if you go back, weren't as good as obviously we needed to be against Iowa, but against Michigan State, we did some really good things defensively. Against Wisconsin, we did some good things defensively. So this has been, evolving as the season goes on. Again, I think being healthy helps, because we've missed size at times with guys being out, and Brandon, and then you miss Brandon and Tilly at times. That plays a role, but our guys are executing at a high level. They've stayed consistent with their prep. I think our staff has done a great job. There's this, when you do scouting, there's this fine line you got to navigate of how much of that information can you give to your players that they can go out and execute without making them overthink, right? And so I think we've really figured out with this team what that right, how to navigate that line well, and that's helped too. I like where we're headed on really both sides of the ball now. And again, you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year, and I think we're seeing that.
That was my biggest concern coming into the year, Bob, with this team was the defense. Because
is your mom's concern too, you think?
I'll pray on that and get back to you. But I think it was because Ohio State, we knew they'd be able to score. As long as they were healthy, they'd be able to score.
Oh, no, I've seen some games in the 60s.
But their defense was always the biggest question mark for me. Coming into the season and throughout the early part of the season, too, I was worried about their defense. They would have some high-scoring games, but they gave a lot. They gave a lot of points to a team early on. They weren't even supposed to be competing with Ohio State. I can't remember which team it was. There was a game. It might have been the first, second, or third game of the season.
They gave a lot of points to Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken.
How many?
And they suck.
Yeah.
I think it was in the 70s. Maybe it was in the high 60s. It wasn't as bad as I thought.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. Yeah, they gave up in the first game. They gave up 102 to IU Indianapolis, who, if I'm not mistaken, didn't win a conference game all year.
That's good.
They went.
The fact you know that off the top of your head is very Jacob Reimer-esque.
They went 7-25 on the season and 3-17 in the conference.
And they scored
102. But hey, it's next game. They only give up 68.
Yeah.
They only gave up 63 to Notre Dame.
Okay, that's what okay. I was mistaken on that.
Yeah, so hey, you're fine.
So the defense is playing better, and that's leading to better offense and whatnot. And so, yeah, they're in a great spot right now with where they're headed. Can't wait for Thursday. Can't wait for Saturday. Who knows? We'll see on that one. But coming up next, lots of NFL news. We will dive into that. It was legal tampering day yesterday, Bob. Morning Juice.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part? Knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Talking sports. Talking celebrations of life. Talking family drama.
After thinking about this, if your sister co-signed it,
right?
So you guys have like a back room. I mean, if it's at a bar, there's going to be TVs there.
I haven't.
So what is your job like? You going to greet people the whole time as they come in?
Yeah, people want to come in, and I thank them for coming. I would think. I don't know, Bob. I've never had a parent die before. First time through this. But I would assume
You'll be better equipped for the second.
Yes, exactly. Second one, I'll know exactly what to do. I'll ask my dad beforehand. Dad, if you happen to do something, if you happen to die during a season.
We did this for Mom. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I told my dad, it would be much easier if he would pass on his birthday because it would save some of the money on the tombstone, right?
Just have one day up there?
Yeah, you just have one day up there.
You think they charge you by the etch?
I don't know. But again, Bob, I've never done this.
You don't have grandparents that passed away?
Sure, but I wasn't involved, though, in the planning of everything. I don't know.
I guess I always just would eavesdrop and listen to what's going on with my parents when they were talking about things with my grandparents. And
I would assume, Bob, in any look, when it used to get jerseys made for rec teams and stuff, they charge you by the letter.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they wouldn't charge you by the letter or the number.
If we ever lost you, Tito, what would you want us to do?
Hypothetically, let me think here.
Because I would say out of the three of us, you're probably
closest to death.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I love you guys too. Thank you very much for bringing that up. I know, yeah, it's
look,
facts. I know.
I was going to answer. I tell you guys, if something happened to me, I don't care if it's Ball State or Texas. You throw the game on. You can throw the Notre Dame game on too, actually.
That way Steve can come.
Oh, yeah. Right. Steve Kerr could be there. So could Patrick. They could both be there.
Hopefully they win. If not,
better what's football season. Yeah.
Do me a favor and throw the remote right through
Bodie,
the middle of the screen.
You go. I'm glad Bodie's up there hanging out with Lou right now. Who's doing that magic trick for him, and Bodie's just watching that thing.
When I pass,
God bless him, Shiloh always let him win.
I don't want any. I want people to laugh and have fun and remember the good times. I don't want anybody being sad. And you can watch sports if you want to. Hell, I'd watch sports. I'm probably up there or down there watching sports anyway.
So one of
down there watching Notre Dame basketball.
One of our friends his grandfather passed away. They lived in Arlington, and when we moved in, they're really close to him, and we were very close to their family. And, we didn't know him that well, and they're like, you don't have to go to the funeral. Like, his grandfather's a pretty important guy. A lot of people were coming, big Italian family. And they're like, but you should stop by that night afterwards. Like, they all get together and drink. And like, whatever, it's Saturday night. My wife and I didn't have anything else going on. Like, all right.
Deal.
And so we went over, they were at their grandparents' house. It was at his grandparents' house. All his like cousins are there. And I knew a decent number of them, and some of their family members, their siblings. And I mean, I walked up, there was already a full case of wine that was already cashed outside.
Of course.
Maybe like half of another. I mean, they were going through it. And what they were doing was going through their grandfather's stuff. Like, they're wearing ties out. Like, it was like dress up, like going into going into his closet and getting things and wearing them out. And then like, who wants this? Who wants that? I mean, it was awesome. And they're like, listen, this is how Grandpa would have wanted it to be. I said, God bless him.
Yeah.
And there was actually he was an Italian guy. I think they're Roman Catholic. And they had these little busts, like these little mini busts of like historical figures. And they had one of Julius Caesar. Oh. I was like, hey, can I have that one? And they're like, well, we'll see if anyone else wants it. But if not, it's to you. And then they also had this mug that was like some sort of, looked like a knight's like head, like you flip the you pulled the helmet back.
Pulled the helmet back.
Yankee swap.
Got both of those. They
You
came
did well
back.
then.
They came back the next day like, hey, I said, you guys want him? Bob wants these. Is anyone else? Like, no, he's good. Let him have them.
There you go.
They brought him back. And those things are they're prominently displayed in my office.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember leaving there. Like, I had a pretty wicked hangover the next day from the amount of red wine that we drank. But it's like, okay, this is how they do it. I'm like, I'd never been to something like, no, this is what my grandfather would have wanted. Everybody's together. He'd have been happy about this, having a good time, having some beverages and enjoying and telling stories.
I like the Yankee swap idea. Somebody's going to end up with that iPod.
Oh, yeah. Start wearing things out.
It's less than $20.
Right.
Oh, Michael.
It was amazing in there because people were wearing out his ties. And when you die and you're like 95, you go through probably really the entire pantheon of fashion.
Oh, yeah.
From the medium-sized tie to the super fat tie to the super thin tie to like the taper leg pants to the wide leg, like bell-bottom wide leg. I mean, you've lived through it all. So you've got a little bit of everything in there.
And ties probably aren't something you really get rid of.
No, you keep stacking them in there.
Yeah, you never know.
I've got some of believe me, I had some of the real thin. I've got the wide. The wide ties are starting to make their way back now. So we're starting to ease those back into the rotation. You keep all the stuff. My wife said, why don't you ever get rid of any of this stuff? I'm like, it's on its way back. And unlike my parents, I can still fit in my high school clothes. And I'm going to be able to keep hanging on. No, it's not no offense. It's just the reality. Okay. We all make choices, Thitoff.
I know we do, Bob. Thank you. I know that.
We're just the sum of our life's experiences. We're some of our life's experiences. The decisions and choices you make are going to govern the outcome of your life.
Why do you keep all that stuff? Well, honey,
I'm going to lose weight.
One day when I go, our 4 kids are going to be in here battling out over these ties.
Oh, well, I mean, I used to go through my dad's closet. I'd get all his like old stuff and wear it. I mean, I had the sweet Coors Original puff vest that I would wear. I got in high school. Oh, he got so mad. He said, you can't be wearing beer stuff to school.
Oh, come on.
Oh, we had
a guy in my class wear a T-shirt that said, my drinking team has a football problem in high school. So.
That's amazing.
And everybody liked it. It was funny.
Everybody liked it. Well, his dad probably wasn't the head football coach either, which may have complicated issues.
Yeah, I don't know if the teachers liked it, but the students, we got a kick out of it.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's all that stuff, but I even kept my clothes from when I was playing when I was like 20 pounds heavier. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, there might be a day where I want to grow back into these.
You never
and
know.
she laughed. I'm like, I'm kind of serious. Part of it is like my father-in-law, her dad, he told me, he's like, don't buy me any more clothes. He goes, I got plenty to wear. He goes, the amount of days I have left and the clothes I'm going to wear out, he goes, I got enough to ride me through the end. I promise you that.
There you go.
The changing of the seasons, or actually really the more like winter to spring kind of thing, or spring to winter, is always a difficult time for me because Heather looks in the closet And she would say, okay, we got too many clothes in here. You know, you don't need all these clothes. Some of these don't even wear. What fits you, what doesn't fit you. I've got to go through the whole process. Then I try some stuff on.
What doesn't. You don't know what fits you and what doesn't?
I've got clothes. Bob, you see what I wear almost, usually every day I've just like some regular pants on and the vest
like
or whatever.
A hobo, yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Like a hobo. It's fine. You can say it, Bob. It's fine. I have no problem accepting that. But it's like, oh, you haven't worn those pants for 2 years. Try them on. And it's like, oh, yeah, boy, these are big. I was really fat when I bought these.
Yeah.
Or, man, these are tight. And said, well, you can't wear them right now, right? I said, no, but I will be able to some days. Like, no, we got to get rid of it then. Like, I mean, we donate all these clothes. It seems like every year we find something.
See, the fact that I've found this amazing. There's not a single article of clothing in my closet that I could not put on and wear right now. Like, if I couldn't fit into it, I get rid of it.
But you said you got your 250-pound clothes.
I've got stuff boxed up.
Okay.
I've got it in the tubs and put in the basement.
Right.
And so, like, it's great for Halloween costumes when you need something here and there. I mean, I got it all available to me. But, I mean, everything in my closet, if I can't put it on, then it gets out of there.
What's great, though, Bob, is the look on Heather's face when it's something I can't fit into. He's like, oh, yeah, we got to get rid of that one. You know, it's like, oh, no, you can't. No, that
should be motivation.
You can't wear that. And I said, no, look, I can button it. She said, no, but you can't. You can't. That's not a good look.
Can you sit down in it?
Right. No, these are. That's a different story there, Bodie. We're not getting into that. That's a poll question there. Malik Willis signed with the Dolphins, Bobby.
Oh.
And got a decent deal, too, out of them. I think he signed for 60. It was a 3-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Included $45 million in guaranteed at the signing.
I like that deal for him. $20 million a year, like limited risk. I mean, there's guys that are getting paid $45 million a year, and so if he's that bad this year that you want to cut him, like you could easily move on from him without really any huge penalty.
We mentioned Tua going to the Falcons then on a 1-year deal. Do you like?
It's good for him. He's going to be in a dome. They have good weapons around him. Offensive line. Okay, I mean, he's a lefty, so I like the fact that the Falcons are thinking, okay, we have a left-handed quarterback in Michael Penix. We're going to bring in someone to compete with him. Let's make him left-handed too, so regardless of who wins the job, we don't have to flip our offense, which, I mean, isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it's just another thing, and especially when you're building your offensive line and how you're going to protect and what that looks like. I mean, there's some hurdles that come with that.
I'm just curious, like Whiskers, why – if Miami's going to pay him, they're going to pay him. You know, he's getting the bulk of the money he's going to be paid to Tua from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Then why not just keep him for one more year? And why not just if you're going to
it sucks.
Okay, maybe
and
he sucks.
He's a cancer to your team.
Okay, if he's a cancer, that's something.
Did you watch what happened last year with the Dolphins?
Oh, I know what happened.
He's
the
like, I need to be more assertive. And comes out, and then you got Mike McDaniel saying if our quarterback could complete some more passes. I mean, they're literally like sparring openly.
Sure.
And he's like the nicest guy in the world.
He and he even said something about
that's Brian Flores about him
about wanting to leave, being on the team when he was asked about it at the end of the season last year about that'd be great. But I didn't know, Bob, if with the overhaul they've had, new head coach, right, new GM, is that not enough to change the culture?
No.
Okay.
Your quarterback's the most important piece.
All right.
What do you think the GM does with the culture?
Maybe. Well, the GM and the coach, if they're working hand in hand, I would think.
I get that. The coach could try, but the players are the team.
Okay. Halfley's there now.
Halfley didn't want to deal with that nonsense.
Maybe that's what it was. If he was a cancer, then I get it, Bob. But I'm saying if
he's not a kid. I mean, he's just, dude.
Sometimes you just gotta just reset for all parties involved.
He's like eating gruel. Like there's just nothing. It's like nothing.
Okay.
Like he's not enhancing anything. He's not a leader. Like Tua's not a leader, and so you have a rudderless ship.
Right.
So you got to bring in someone that can be the captain.
Look
at me, Irish. I'm the captain now.
What's that from?
Oh, Tito.
Exactly.
What's it from?
Don't just move on, buddy.
Okay.
The Chiefs are. Travis Kelce is re-up there with the Chiefs, $12 million deal. It has a max value of $15 million, according to Adam Schefter. I like that. We talked about that yesterday.
I thought you said he wasn't going to come back.
I didn't say that, Bob. No, I never said that.
What was his deal for?
It's 1 year, $12 million with the max value of $15 million.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was championing that yesterday.
A good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal for him. And then Kenneth Walker, your Super Bowl MVP, goes to Kansas City as well. They signed to a deal, so now they've got an additional weapon.
What did they sign him for?
Let me check.
Everybody's championing this, and I'm curious to see what the number is.
Like whiskers?
Well, this is interesting because the devil's in the details on this. I don't think they would have overpaid for him. I like Kenneth Walker a lot, but I don't know if he's a difference maker to the degree of depending on like how much cash you gave him. And if Seattle wasn't willing to pay him, like there's something behind that. The guy just won you a Super Bowl. He was the best player on the field.
I believe he got, 'cause what I read was that the deal was right in between what Barkley got when he a couple years ago and what Jacobs got. I thought it was $45 million.
Hopefully
maybe
closer to Jacobs than Barkley.
Let's see.
Hopefully there's not a lot of guarantees in there. Not that I don't think he'll be good for a couple years, but I would say he's a 3-year guy there.
3 years, 43. Excuse me, I'm sorry. 3 years, $43 million.
Okay,
so
that's
14
not bad.
a year.
Yeah, that's a fair deal. I wonder how much that's guaranteed.
Yeah, done.
I'm guessing
total
30-ish.
guaranteed 28.7.
That's a good deal, though.
Good call, Bob.
That's not a bad deal.
Does that take them out of the Jeremiah Love?
I think
it
if he's there, they'll take him.
Yeah.
I think
he's a weapon, right?
I think this is the fact that Andy Reid will find a way.
Yeah.
I think if he's there, they'll take him. I think what they had to sit there and digest is
will he be
what's
there?
the likelihood?
Yeah.
If he's not, then what do we do?
Yeah.
And so now, if like for some reason he falls, what are the Chiefs picking, 8 or 9?
9.
9.
Yeah.
I think if he's still there at 7, they would jump up to get him. But the likelihood that he's getting past 6 at this point, 5, he's good. He ran really well.
Yeah.
And so I think that they came to the realization, like, we're not going to probably get him at 9, and we don't want to move up to 5. Now, could we move up to 8 or 7, maybe jump a spot? Likelihood maybe a little less that they would do that now, but I still think when you value a guy, like he might be the top position player on their board.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we could get the number 1 guy on our board at the 8th pick. I understand that we've drafted this guy, but it's basically a 2-year deal for $14 million a year.
Yeah.
It's not a $300 million cap. It's not like you gave the guy $60 million guaranteed a year for 3 years. Like this is something that, and by the way, you can play them both together. You can move them around. Like Andy's very creative.
Yeah.
He would be one of the few guys that you would feel really good if you did that.
I don't think he makes it to 9. I think he's gone before that. I think the Saints could jump on him ahead of them. But yeah, I don't think he makes it to 9 either. The Steelers made a trade with the Colts yesterday. It was a swap of late round draft picks and Michael Pittman then going to the Steelers. And they signed him to a new deal after that. And
what was that deal?
That deal, I believe, I thought it was 3. Let me check and see if I have it on here. A 3-year, $59 million contract.
That's not terrible.
So,
I like that for him being your number 2 receiver opposite DK Metcalf.
That's what I was
the
asking
thing is,
Bob.
him and DK are similar style receivers. And I don't know. I'm curious to see how they'll make that work. Not they'll make that work, but just how they deploy it.
They're both 6'4".
They're big physical guys.
Pittman weighs 223 listed.
yeah.
I think it's 230 for Metcalf.
They're
Very
both
similar.
big physical guys.
Right. And that's the part that struck me as odd is because it feels like Pittman's just like DK and DK's just like Pittman.
You're not wrong in saying that.
And
when I heard that was the most interesting thing. I'm like, you got 2 guys that are basically, without getting too much in the weeds, kind of ex-receiver-ish players. Now, I watched Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans both exist together in a high wet level in Tampa, and both those guys are very similar physical builds and how they play. So I'm not saying it won't work. It's just you have to have the right coordinator and right quarterback to obviously make it work.
That's the thing. Yes, it depends who the quarterback's going to be. But now the Steelers, though, have one of the, their receiver tandems probably got to be among the most expensive in football now with the money they're paying him and the money they're paying DK.
Well, you said they're paying him 3 for 60?
3 for 59, yeah.
Yeah. What's DK getting? Probably 25?
Didn't
30?
he have was his year 4 for 130 or something like that? Am I wrong on that? Was he making see if I can find that for you. But he signed
DK's making 33 a year.
33.
Yeah. I was say so you have $53 million tied up in your
2 receivers.
2 receivers. It's less than Cincinnati.
It is less than Cincinnati, yes. Yeah, Cincinnati also has a very high-priced quarterback, too, that the Steelers don't have at this point.
Less than Dallas.
Less than Dallas, but it's got to be among, I would say, the top 5 to 7, right,
But
among receiver duos.
But if you're getting really good production out of it, They were void of weapons last year.
Outside of Metcalf, no receiver had more than 31 receptions. Outside of Metcalf, no receiver. Now, Kenneth Gainwell led them in receptions. I think he had 73. He's now gone, though, too. He was a team MVP last year for the Steelers. He signed a 2-year, $14 million deal with the Buccaneers, is where he is headed. And Mike Evans leaves the Buccaneers to go to the 49ers.
I was surprised to see that.
I was, too.
I was surprised that they didn't resign him. Now, I know that they drafted a Mecca, and you got Godwin, and we'll see how he comes back. I mean, I know he played last year, but he's been beat up the last couple of years, like how much gas he has left. But I was surprised with Mike Evans and everything that he has done and all the records and stuff.
Right.
And I don't know if this was him just wanting to leave and trying to want to win a Super Bowl and what that looks like. But that is very interesting. What was his deal like with San Fran? Probably, a 1 or 2 year deal, I'm guessing.
I'm going to take a look on that one there. Bodie's going to have to look it up now, probably. Yeah, I think it's a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken.
3 years, $42 million at $14 a year, but only $16 guaranteed.
So that's a great deal. I'm curious if they offered him more than Tampa. Like what Tampa offered him.
If Tampa offered him anything at all. Like maybe Tampa said, we're not going to, we can't.
Dude, he's been the face of your organization for the last, what has he been there, 11 years? 12 years?
12 years, I think. 12 years,
He broke Jerry Rice's consecutive 1,000 yards receiving mark in your uniform. Dude's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, absolutely.
He's a Hall of Famer. What do you mean?
No, listen,
we ain't thinking about that.
No, wait, Bob.
There's no thinking about it.
Bob, it is tough for a receiver to get in the Hall of Fame now. Tougher than it was 20 years ago. Just like there's a lot of guys right now.
There's a lot of guys that have inflated numbers.
Right, they have inflated numbers. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying I can't say for certain he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Do I think he deserves to be? Yes. I do think he deserves to be. But with the logjam of receivers, and look at the ones that didn't get in first time or aren't in right now.
They're not Mike Evans.
Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt.
Nope.
Torrey Holt was pretty damn good. I just don't know, Bob, with how tough it is now because they have the limits on how many guys get in.
I understand that. 11 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Would have been a lot more 30 years ago than it does now.
I get that. But how many of those other guys? Torrey Holt played in the greatest show on turf. He have that?
I don't think he had that many, no, because he also had Isaac Bruce on.
I understand we had Isaac Bruce. He had Vincent Jackson and Godwin with him. By the way, he had Tom Brady at the end of his career. Who were the other quarterbacks that they were trotting out there?
For the Buccaneers?
Jameis. Don't disrespect Jameis.
Jameis throws for a lot. Look, he throws for a lot of yards.
And
high volume, but that's fine. But high volume, though, in yards.
Yeah. He also has a Super Bowl ring.
There's a guy who wasn't afraid to throw it in there for you.
Bob, in my opinion, a 1,000-yard season is almost akin to what used to be a big number in passing, a 3,000-yard season passing-wise back in the 70s and 80s. That was a huge deal if you got over 3,000 yards. It used to be a much bigger deal, 1,000 yards. You got 17 games now, Bob, and you're throwing the ball a lot more than you used to.
Okay, you have 17 games the last 2 years.
That's fine.
How many of those? Okay, so the other 9.
He didn't have 1,000 this year, right? Yeah, the other 9. You're right. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, Bob, I don't think 1,000 yards rushing doesn't mean what it used to. You can get 1,000 yards rushing.
More.
You can get 1,000 yards rushing now, though, by averaging like 60 yards a game, right? I don't know. My math is fuzzy this early in the morning. I'm just saying, Bob, I don't think look, having consistency across your career, yes, that's great. That's great to have consistency. I don't think 1,000 yards receiving means nearly as much as it used to.
How many guys do you think had 1,000 yards last year?
Last year?
Yeah.
I would probably say 12.
You're a little light on that. It's 20.
So 20 guys did it last year. It used to be a much bigger deal, Bob. That's all. I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Fame talent. Look, I believe he should be in Canton when it's all said and done. I'm just not convinced he will be because of the inflated numbers we talked about among receivers. Same way with quarterbacks, too. I mean, and even, going further than that, you look, the Hall of Fame, should Bill Belichick be in it? Yeah, he's not. T.O., it took.
Well, he will be, though.
Well, I would hope so. But Terrell Owens, though, it took him a while to get in. But with all the receivers, though.
I don't think Mike Evans is an a-hole.
I don't believe he is either, but it's tougher to get in as a wide receiver now with those numbers, than it was in the past.
I would say that's correct.
And so that's why I'm not convinced he will get into the Hall of Fame. I hope he does, but I'm not convinced he will get in the Hall of Fame.
I'm just telling you, with the respect that he has, a lot of it is, I think, is how much do people respect you around the league, and he is one of the more respected players you're going to find.
Why isn't Eddie George in the Hall of Fame? He had a bunch of 1,000-yard years rushing-wise to start his career.
He faded off a lot at the end.
At the very end, obviously, what was Dallas's last year, right?
Oh, he was not good.
Done, but
he was not good in Dallas.
Not good by then.
He was beat up. I mean, he just physically didn't have anything left. They ran the hell out of him.
Was that his
He was a
ninth year?
volume guy.
Was that his 9th year? Or 10th year? 9th year.
Ninth.
Okay. But his first 7 were pretty good, I would think. His first 7 were stellar.
They gave him the ball 350 times a year.
Yeah. But I think Eddie George should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he ever will be, but I think he should be.
If he won a Super Bowl, he may have been.
I know
that's
that
exactly.
one.
That's what I was going to say. And Mike Evans has that.
He has a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If Dyson, though, if he stretches out a little bit further and go to overtime, George is the MVP of that game. He had a great game in the Super Bowl that year,
played well.
And they could have done that. So, all right, coming up next, we will tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
Hey, folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week, I was on the road visiting a recruit, and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name. And I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180, and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual. I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant, and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore, and I really wasn't excited about it. I just kind of stopped wanting it, and that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance, and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on, and I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The madness is on and the deals are going full court at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Drive home the Powerhouse 2026 Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months and $1,000 Toyota financial cash. That's a slam dunk offer. Or you can drive home in the always reliable 2026 Camry LE for just $269 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year, and $36.99 due at signing. Don't sit on the sidelines. Hustle into Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here.
I'm pregnant.
This is Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation? Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals, whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale. Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank, a Dublin member, FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, let's do it.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Feels like a Tuesday, which means Schlegs leads us off.
Taysom Hill with an M, not Taysom, but Taysom Hill.
How about
You get
Payson?
Kamara or Payson. Payson and Payson, I don't know. Now you got me confused.
You know, speaking of, I was watching the Nebraska-Iowa game on Sunday evening, and I feel like this guy's been at Nebraska for a few years now because I feel like I remember hearing Paul say his name when I would be running the Ohio State men's broadcast the last couple years. But Nebraska has a guy named Price. You know, maybe just call him Bryce. You know,
you're right,
maybe
yeah.
you're just setting the kid up for failure. But nevertheless, guys, Tuesday, what's got me juiced was absolutely gorgeous out yesterday. That had me super juiced. Was maybe a hair chilly early in the morning, which obviously affects us. But, man, it was super nice out before it unfortunately is supposed to get a bit colder as the week goes on here. And then also, I was going to bring this up in quick hitters, but I'll touch on it here. I thought this was a pretty cool story. The World Baseball Classic is fully underway here. The U.S. of A., they beat Mexico last night 5-3 as they continue to remain undefeated in the pool play.
All five coming in the third. I watched all the runs there.
There you go. Yeah, and Paul Skeens, he was the starter there in that game. 4 innings, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts. So he's obviously...
You know what he also did?
That's what I was... Yeah.
Oh, you guys bring it up?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So him and along with Griffin Jax, so both those guys played at Air Force. Paul Skeens obviously then transferred to LSU because his coach basically said, you have to leave here because you are going to be the best pitcher in baseball in a few years. So they kind of forced him to go for his own doing there. And so Paul Skeens and Griffin Jax, they made sure that, like I said, as both guys had played at Air Force for a few different years back when they were in college, they went out and got tickets to make sure the entire Air Force baseball team could attend last night's game as the U.S. beat Mexico 5-3. So that was really cool when I saw that story. And then, Tito, I know you'll like this because you love guys playing for their countries. Paul, before the start last night, said, quote, out of all the jerseys I've had over the past few years, the USA one is the one I'm most proud of wearing. So thought that was pretty cool, Thitoff. Who do you play for? So that's what's got me juiced here on this Tuesday, guys. Carp, what you got today, sir?
Oh, him and Aaron Judge have been huge in that and awesome to both of those guys. It was great to see. And there may be a lot of naysayers out there, Bodie, who don't care about
in this room
things like honor, code, and loyalty to one's country.
Either way.
I love Skeens. He is him. Bryce Harper was playing last night. It was fun watching him. Bryce is, I always say he's our honorary Buckeye. Well, I mean,
he married into the family.
He didn't go to a college.
So he didn't go to a college, and his wife went here, and he comes back and is a.
Like me with the Steelers.
Puts his Buckeye gear. No, it's not even close to you.
I think me and Harper, same thing.
No, not even close. He wears his Buckeye gear, and hangs out and said, "Buddy, you can be an honorary Buckeye all day." And it was just awesome to watch him be a part of that last night. That's what got me juiced. I watched more of that game than I watched of, I think, the entirety of Major League Baseball last year.
We got a new baseball Bob.
I'm not kidding you. I mean, I watched a lot of the first 3 innings, and then after that, I was like, all right, man, it's 5-0. Just smacking dongs, dude. Two runs in the, or 2 home runs in the third. Felt with Mesquine's on the mound. I'm like, all right, we're sitting pretty right here. And so it was great to see that. Watched a little play with my for my 3rd grader last night. I remember doing it for my 6th grade son. Very, very interesting. Pass around a microphone, watching those little yahoos hop around. It was pretty funny, and got a chance to enjoy it and taught 3 full classes yesterday. It was a full day's work.
That's a day. That's a day for you.
Oh, yeah. That's what at the end I felt bad. I was like stretching, and they were talking. I'm like, I hate to distract, not trying to be distracting, but I've been on my feet now at least for about 2.5 hours straight for my last 2 classes that are back to back. So I was like, if I have to like shift around, that's due to my back, just making sure that I can keep that thing functioning and greased up. So that was good. And it's the last week here of school before they got spring break. And spring ball starts today.
Ooh.
There'll be a practice here in about an hour, be out on the field. Well, they'll be on the field in a half hour. They have about a half hour warm-up, so I usually pop out there about 9 o'clock. So excited to see those guys get working today. That has me juiced it off. What's got you juiced, sir?
Okay, let's clear something up first. My point was and has been that playing in
your country is selfish.
Playing in an exhibition type game is not good business. That's all.
Exhibition? Are they keeping score?
Sure, we keep scoring in exhibition games too in baseball. Yeah, like Reds lost the A's yesterday. They kept score.
Do they hand out hats and T-shirts if you win it all?
That I'm not sure, Bob. I've been to spring
I'm pretty
training.
positive.
I can't speak to that. Let's see. But yeah, good. Look, I root for the U.S. I hope they win. I just want to see somebody get hurt and have a career-ending injury, and then there's millions and millions and millions of dollars down the drain.
Down the drain.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. I guarantee you if Paul Skeens blew his shoulder out or blew out his elbow pitching for Team USA, he wouldn't say that's down the drain.
Okay.
Okay.
We can agree to disagree on that
one. I guarantee you.
Let's get him on the show.
Paul Skeens would not feel bad about that.
The fact that
there's certain things I can say with certainty, and that's one of them.
That's another T-shirt there. There's certain things I can say with certainty, and that's one of them. Bob, the fact that you watched baseball, that much baseball, makes show prep a lot easier. We can start a baseball segment probably every day.
I watched Team USA.
Okay.
It is amazing, though, because, outside of the Jackets, I don't follow much hockey, but, in the Olympics or even at the Four Nations.
You do that hockey.
Face-off.
Right.
As they say in hockey. Let's do that hockey.
So you don't enjoy the game because of the game, because of the way the game is played. You enjoy it because of...
Oh, I don't dislike hockey.
Right.
I just don't follow it.
It's like watching an all-star game where people actually give a crap.
Yeah.
That's why I like watching it.
I don't dislike baseball. I'm just not going to watch it 7 days a week for the next 7 months. But I was watching for a little bit last night, too. I was pretty tired, so I went to bed kind of early. And I got to tell you guys, the last probably 4 days now, my head just feels like it's absolutely going to explode. So that's not very fun. But... I don't watch a ton of baseball and don't follow it, you know, on a day-to-day basis. But there's just something cool. But when you put that jersey on, Tito,
I understand.
You represent yourself and your teammates.
Right.
And the name on the front means a hell of a lot more than the one on the back.
Son had his first AAU practice yesterday, and I stuck around and watched it. 2 things got me juiced. One, I'm not on the bench, and I'm just a parent, which doesn't happen very often, Bob, where with us with the flag football stuff and with basketball and all these things when the kids played over at Carriage Place, I was always on the bench. And so it was interesting to me to not be on the bench for something he was doing. But it was great. There were a bunch of 3rd and 4th graders out there, and they ran them hard. It was really good. It was and it was intense. It was one of the guys running had a whistle, and he would blow that whistle. And if kids if you missed a layup, you had to do 5 push-ups. If the whole collective group did something to screw up somehow, if they didn't do a drill right, drop and give them 10. All this stuff. I bet my kid did 60 push-ups yesterday. Just
good.
But one of them, though, Bob, was actually my fault, which is hard to do when you're not involved in any way, shape, or form with it. We get to the warm-up, and all of Artie's stuff is down on one end, the far end of the court. I was going to see where they were going to be playing, practicing and stuff, because they were going to practice on the other end, or warm from the other end. I was going to bring it down, so he had his water bottle right there. And so I bring everything down.
He couldn't run down and get the water bottle himself?
He could have, Bob. I'm just trying to be... I'm just trying
setting the scene.
Yes. Okay. So, and I'm sitting at this table now watching, and I've got his stuff kind of to the left of me, and a guy walks through using a cane. By the way, I would love to have a cane, not to have to use it. I think it'd be a great prop. I do. I think it'd be a great thing. It like the Mr. Peanut thing. It'd be
a
great.
Wheelchair.
No, wheelchair's obnoxious. A cane. Boys to men. That one guy always had a cane, and sometimes another member did too, just to support him.
Bruce Wayne had one till he
exactly
got
right
that knee thing.
I thought about that with the Rothman. With the Rothman fight, was I was going to be Bane with Roth. Anyway,
we got some work to do. If that's your goal. I like having that sort of goal, but we got to get you, in the gym a little bit more. I would say.
So my kids' stuff is not in the walkway, but it's close to the walkway.
Okay.
This guy with the cane comes through, and the one coach sees the guy with the cane walking out the door, blows his whistle, and says, "Whose crap is that in the walkway? We just had a man with a cane walking by right there, and he had to move because of someone's crap. I don't care whose it is. Everyone drop and give me 15." I'd say it was me.
You take a chair and chuck it across the court.
Did you own up to your mistake?
I did. I said that was me, and I grabbed it, pulled it back.
And did you do the push-ups?
So I thought that.
Exactly.
I thought it was.
I think it's a yes or no answer.
The longer the explanation, the less believable it is.
So nonetheless, maybe I made the country better yesterday by making those kids do extra push-ups. Is that possible?
You could have done them as well.
Well, I don't know if there's like a waiver or liability thing in that regard. Like, let's say I'm doing the push-up, Bob, and I pull a muscle, and I've been instructed by somebody who owns the place to do push-ups. I didn't sign a waiver. I'm instructed. I do push-ups.
What if that guy would have slipped on that cane and broke his other hip?
See, that's on the cane guy, because he got around fairly easy. I think the coach tried to send a message, but look, the kid's stuff wasn't in the way. I mean, and by the way, it's not the guy's first day with a cane.
How do you know?
There's no way. Look, I watched this guy maneuver. Look, if it's his first day with a cane, yeah, I get it. Like when I had your walking boot that first day. It was tough to get around, Bob. Day 4, I looked like a pro. I'm saying this guy with the cane, he had it for multiple years. There's no reason he would have to trip on my kid's stuff.
What if he walks?
Can he hurt any worse? Oh, gosh. So anyway, I forced
So you went and got your kid's stuff.
Right.
So that he wouldn't have to jog across the court for where he put it, and then you threw it in the middle of the walkway.
I didn't throw it in the middle of the walkway.
Sounds roughly accurate.
It was not. It was not in there.
I'm not sure which is on this scale the thing that I have the most problem with. The thing that the fact you actually went and got it for your kid,
right?
Where he put it, that he could jog down and go get it. Or the fact that you put it in a place that was a hazard to others, like my kids come in the house and just dump their stuff right in front of the door.
Bob, I'm just.
But I think it's all par for the course.
No, cane guy could have gotten around it just fine. It was if he looked like it was dramatic, like if he would have stopped and gone and looked down at the stuff, then I would have felt bad. But it was just a simple move to the right. That's all it was, Bob.
Put your gear on.
Yeah, that's what it is. If I see cane guy though, next one I'll apologize to him. Yeah.
You want to see something in your way, sir? Right. Here, there's my foot.
Here, you drop and give me 15. Great show today, Bob. Right?
How old do you think cane guy was?
I think cane guy was in his 60s, which used to be really old, but now I'm 54. Now I say it out loud. Like, that guy's way old. He's in his 60s, and I'm like...
You keep wishing for that cane. It might come true.
I'm just telling you, man.
You know what Ricky Bobby said?
What's that?
We're all going to die one day, but with my high-level income and modern science, I probably could live to 245, 300.
That's great. That's what Carp can do. Thanks so much.